we are ready to just cruise right on in, maybe a gentle bounce, if you will, into Oirbo with Sekeri, who's going to be showing us an any percent run of this super, super chill run. I can't tell you enough what a great run this is. Sekeri, how about you introduce yourself and your commentator?
Hi, so hey, I'm Sekeri. I run Oirbo and some indie small games. I spend most of my time looking for new games. So if this one escaped your radar, that's pretty normal. It's a very niche game. So yeah, but there's a lot of things to say and to happen. Oh, I think there's. Nah, it sounds good. And I'm joined by Illegally Sam. We agreed to comment on this run. Hi.
Hello, I'm Illegally Sam. I've run games where they're 2D Metroidvanias, and I've run games where they're 2D platformers where you play as a robot. I haven't done both at the same time yet, so that's what you're going to see here today.
I hope so. I hope it goes well. All right. The run will start whenever I start on a fresh file, so if everyone's ready back, I will just give us a smooth countdown and jump right into the game. Are we all good?
I think we are.
Alright, perfect. So let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So Oirbo is a platformer, like many of the same type. But oh, do we have the laggy first scene? Oh, that's going to be a very nice restart for me. I knew it would happen at some point. Alright, so just so people know, I will have to reset the game because now the game is actually stuck in loading phase, so sorry for that.
Metroidvanias, am I right?
Yeah, it's basically I'm not going to say it's a bad start, because it happens a lot. If you can leave the timer if you want, it's not going to take too long, or you can reset it if you wish for. But yep, just double checking that everything is fine. And I'm gonna just go back here. I'm gonna delete that one too. Might as well delete this one just in case. Okay, and we will go back into it. So let's go.
The joys of PC gaming.
Yeah, this game has a lot of finicky bugs, but we are back in there. So this is Oirbo, and you will start to see me do a crazy amount of stuff because the game begins with all the power-ups unlocked. So we can switch gravity, we can dash, we can double jump, we can wall jump, and we can die like an idiot because it's the beginning and I'm a bit stressed, but that's okay. It should be fine. I just need to remember how to play the game. So basically the base mechanics is that you move around. Whenever you hit the ground, you reset your dash, you reset your anti-grav option. So you will see me do a lot of ground-to-ground movement to be able to dash as much as I can. I can push button to open doors, I can push button to shut down lasers, and that's it. That's all we're going to be doing for the next 45-50 minutes. So get ready, because this goes pretty fast at the beginning, but it's because the dev decided, why not show them everything you will be able to do at the end of the game right from the get-go.
Game starts out full Metroid, where you have your full
yeah,
kit
exactly.
for like the first couple of minutes.
So, but the story is pretty simple. Basically, we wake up on the ship, and there's a weird alert coming from the top of the spaceship, and there's some intruder there. And they ambush us, and they will strip us from all our power-ups, and then the game will start. So that's Oirbo in one simple sentence. So yeah, all the power-ups are split up in the different sections. So there's actually 6 power-ups in the game, but we only need the 4 movement power-ups to go to the final boss. So that's why we are not going to pick up the 2 extra power-ups, and most of the times we are going to be just moving around. So we just been sent back to some other body because we have one important thing to come up, which is omnisave. So basically the game saves your progressions all the time. If you push any button, it will stay pushed until something happened in the ship. If you for any reason die and go back to a checkpoint, the button stays open, and that's very important for some of the routing in the game because we can abuse it and relocate whenever we need it to be closer to where we want to go if the checkpoint that we took is closer. So yeah, and here I'm going to be doing a lot of what we call pre-jumping. So if you push the jump button right before you hit the ground, the game registers it and basically makes you jump on the first frame. So that's why you see me just making those very quick jumps off the floor. And one of the cool aspects of Oirbo is that we don't have any attack button. We can only pogo of the head of the enemy. It's a bit far, no, that's fine. So we have to be a bit precise, and the game is actually telling you you don't have to defeat enemies. Enemies are just obstacles, so just avoid them. Alright, let's just get a little bit of focus here. I'm dying a little bit, but it's just the beginning is a bit... We only have the jump at the beginning, so for vertical sections it's pretty important to know where we're going. But this is cargo. This is the first area of the game. It's a very tutorial-based area, but it's a very good one because it's at the center of the ship. So whenever you come back, because this is a Metroidvania, whenever you come back here, you can go through some shortcuts because you have new options of movements and things like this. So yeah, it's a pretty cool thing.
An interconnected world? What's that? I've never seen one of those before.
Weird. But yeah, the beginning is pretty straightforward. We just try to keep running as much as we can, jump whenever we need, bump on an enemy because they basically send us upwards. There's a variety of jump. So you can do short hops or high hops, and it's also the case for jumping on enemies. So sometimes you have to maintain your jump button whenever you... Oh, I'm a bit late. Yeah, no, that's fine. Grabbing the map key for cargo here. So map key are pretty important in the game. Normally they unlock the map of the area you are in, but they also give you the ability to teleport back to the map terminal that's at the middle of the section most of the time. So I grabbed this map key because it's not far off the road and it's going to allow me to teleport back at the middle of the game basically whenever I need. I will also be grabbing here a little extra health boost. I need 3 of those to get an extra health HP, which are the circles you see at the top. Oh, missed the jump, but that's fine. I'm gonna have to wait a little bit. Here we go. And those are the health box. So health box work in a weird way. If you want to have health, you have to push all the buttons before the times run out, and that gives you all the tape. I have 1 less HP. So boss fight. Okay. Okay, let's go.
All right. So yeah, these boss fights are interesting because, you know, you see their health in the top right-hand corner, and you can only damage them by jumping on them, just like all the other enemies. But when you do jump on them, they do a little counterattack every single time. So all the bosses have their own unique counterattack. This first boss, he just like throws his hands in the air like he just doesn't care, and just waves them around, and tries to shake you off.
I was missing 1 HP.
It's all good, but yeah, these bosses are pretty difficult because they have a lot of health, and you don't.
Yeah, we are going to do the full game on 4 health, so get ready for me being very, very unhappy with how boss behave. Oh, I got misinput here. That's pretty much okay. Sometimes when you get very close to one of the ledges, the game does not agree with giving you your jump, so you just have to deal with it. I'm gonna get the health back. It's going to be short 1 HP again. Too bad. Okay, so what do you want to do? Oh, you want to do this first. Okay. Pretty bad start, but I'll take it.
Yeah, these bosses all have like attack patterns and everything, but if you're able to just like get them in a stun lock sort of where you just hit them and then they do the counter attack and then you hit them again and they do the counter attack. Most of the boss fights you can chain that at least a handful of times before they decide to attack you, but some bosses just decide to attack anyway, even though you're in the middle trying to hit them.
No, come on. He's not being very friendly with me. He's doing the box attack.
This first boss, I know you're able to get some double hits if you're able to like be right above him when he jumps up, but with almost all of these boss fights, yeah, you're just gonna want to beat them. You don't want to play too risky if you don't have to. But thankfully you were able to get through it that time.
Yeah, it's okay. So this is a pretty cool boss because you can actually do a lot of damage if you really risk it. I try not to risk it too much because it's marathon. I still died, so I'm a bit sad about it. But yeah, we're gonna say it's not been a while since I had the chance to showcase this game in marathon. So I kinda hope to give it the best shot.
Yeah, thankfully the run back in this game isn't too bad because you can just, for that first one, you could just warp back to the map terminal and then
and we are reaching
get back there in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, we are reaching the greenhouse. So the idea of greenhouse is getting a little help from the enemies. So you can actually use the health drop and the projectiles of enemy to push buttons. And that's exactly what this is telling us, because we are getting in a place where every button that we need to activate will be activated by someone else. So it's literally, if you can't do it yourself, just get some help. Alright, and this is the beehive. So it's not exactly the beehive, this is where we are going to meet the bees. Bees are very cool inside the game. It's a very cool idea. It's just, they are just wandering around. We don't see them, they are hiding. Weird. I don't like that. Oh, that's fine, there's one. I was scared they did not spawn, giving me a bit of a problem, but yeah, it's fine. So bees will never attack you, they will just roam around, but if you attack one of them, they will all decide to attack you at once. So it becomes very hard to do some sections if you don't have the bees on your side, let's say this. And we are reaching Bob. Please, Bob, open. Oh no, Bob is going the other way. So this Bob is the first one who needs to open the gates, and he can be missing his shot a lot or killing us. So that's why he has no name. It's like a Dark Soul boss. But he was cool. Today he was cool. And we have another one here. It's pretty hard because it needs to go all the way. And here you will see me do some damage boost. So I'm not going to do some damage boost. I'm just going to take 2 damage right there. Because we are going for a skip. So we are in the greenhouse. Greenhouse requires you to get 3 keys to go to the final boss. So to the final boss of greenhouse, not the final boss of the final game. And those keys are hidden everywhere, and one of them is hidden inside what's called the beehive, which is this big yellow zone. And the idea behind beehive is that you have all those bees around. I'm gonna kill one if I can. I missed it, that's bad. Okay, I'm gonna play it safe. So you have all those bees going around, and one of them at the end is right next to a button on the other side of the wall. So whenever you kill one of their friends, they get angry, they come towards you, but towards you is basically toward the button, so they push the button. So that's the one right under here. Please come here. Where is she? Okay, there she is. And she will open the gate for us, and I can go back, but it's too long and too slow to go all the way up. That's a very good beehive. They, without pun intended, they behaved correctly.
No pun
yeah,
intended.
I think afterwards.
Oh,
afterwards. So we're just going to use the Omni save that I explained at the beginning and go back at the beginning of the beehive section, because that's where the door is, and it's going to save us a lot of time. Okay. I'm getting distracted by the Discord, but that's fine. I need to keep focus. Alright, so that's the second key. The first key we grabbed was inside this big open area. And we are actually going to save close from here. There's another farmer here, hello. Close from here because this is the checkpoint that's the closest to the boss, without being stuck behind the 3 gates that are locked behind keys. So before we go all the way around, start to get the last key, we are going to save here and go back afterwards.
I always thought it was interesting that you call those enemies farmers, because they just look like Grim Reapers to me.
Yeah, but it's I thought it was like more inside of the theme of the greenhouse and the cultures and the bees, and I was like, yeah, let's call them farmers.
Yeah, that's fair.
That would be pretty cool, right? No, they're
Farmers just sound so much more positive too.
Yeah. Why should there be Grim Reapers? And that's the whole point of this game too.
They are trying to hit you.
That's exactly. They are trying to hit me. I'm pretty much trespassing here. So that's also one of the points of the game. We will explain a little bit. That's new. Okay, I need to be careful here and not die. Sorry. That's one of the points of the game. We will explain this a little bit more when we reach Medbay, which is the next zone, because there's one cool thing about this game. I need to relocate a little bit, and we will be going back to the final boss of this section, which is a bit of a pushover, sort of. It can be dangerous. Oh, did not want to do that. Please don't go in my way.
Boss is a pushover if he cooperates.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a little bit of randomness. We don't take this checkpoint because it's not worse. It's too close to the other one that we already have. Let's go.
Yeah. So yeah, this boss, I hope you like RNG, because this boss is gonna just teleport around the arena after every time it gets hit or does an attack and stuff like that. So it could show up on the bottom, it can show up on either of these other levels or on the very top. And the best RNG is basically whenever it shows up closer to the bottom, because since Sekeri is going to the bottom of the arena after every hit, because that's the safest spot to go to, if the boss goes down there, you're able to get up to 3 hits on that bottom floor there. On the next floor up, you're able to get 2 hits, like if you're fast enough.
That was great.
Any of the upper floors.
That was a great boss. He did twice the bottom pattern, so it was pretty fast. Wow.
You went so fast I didn't even get to finish explaining it.
Alright, but we are going to do a little bit of backtracking, so lucky if you want to go ahead and read some donation, you can, for like 1 or 2.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. So I just wanted to let everyone know that we have a milestone incentive. So any donations you make, whether you put it towards any incentive we have open, they're all going to go towards our bonus run, which is Rift of the Necrodancer. And that is such a super fun game, amazing music. To get that game added to the schedule, we need to raise $2,196. Sounds like a specific number, and it is, because that number will mark $10,000 total raised for Prevent-A-Thon in its lifetime. So let's get those donations in. Right now we're like $15 away from $1,500, and that's just another step closer to our amazing bonus game.
Yeah, just donate for this. it's a very good run. So yeah.
A little biased. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm completely biased. I love music games. So, but we reached Medbay.
I'm biased because it's my run.
Yeah, but we are not going to say that. That's even more biased. So we just reached Medbay. So Medbay has a very cool mechanic, which is the disappearing platform. Yeah, okay, that was not good for me. The pretty cool mechanic is not this one. It's the doctors. So we are in the Medbay. There are doctors that are trying to do their job, and basically those are enemies with a specific AI that's pretty cool. When you meet them, they will scan for your health, so they will see if you miss HP or not. If you are full life, they will wave happily at you and say, okay, you can keep going, and they will just do nothing. But if you are missing some health, they will rush at you, grab you, and they will send you into a bed hospital somewhere inside of Medbay, and they will give you all your health back. So it's a very cool mechanic that's just another way to discover the level. Sometimes you just meet one of them, they grab you by the first time, and you just end up in some place. But we are also going to use this to go much faster. So this is the elevator, and normally you are supposed to stay here, make a big gauntlet and stuff like this, but we are going to ask this sympathetic doctor to send us further into the level, and this is closer to the top of the elevators and doing the whole gauntlet, several fights and things like this. So yeah, those are also lifelines. Lifelines allow me to go in every direction, just like the feather in Celeste. So it's no lie that it's very inspired by the likes of it, like Hollow Knight, Celeste, and things like this. But yeah, I pretty much like it. But the big problem with this section is that I need to do a very long section without getting any checkpoints. So if I die, I will go back to the checkpoint before the dock elevator thing. And that's bad. So we want to be careful. We want to just not do anything stupid during this section and run the good cycles and platformings, which are coming up right there. There we go. That's good. I'm going to be a bit late. Yeah, I'm completely late. Too bad. Am I late? Yeah, I'm Oh, missed the jump. So I don't want to take too much damage because there's a couple sections coming up that are very tough and I can take damage without really wanting to, so... Okay. Oh, nice thought.
To be fair, I think there's only one time you ever want to take damage, and that's when you're death warping.
Yeah.
Any other time, yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Damage is bad.
Ah, that's 2. Alright, I will have to take it safe from here. I could go before it goes all the way around, but I just want to make sure I don't get hit. And the base of the laser also hit us, so we don't want to do anything bad because we are getting health right after this, so I'm gonna just play it safe. And we are also going
these lasers are definitely tricky looking with how they go around corners and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they can actually eat you through some corners, so you want to be very careful and not take too much of a danger, but we're getting all our else back here. I'm going to jump this one. Oh, too early. Too late. And too early again. This is not fun.
It's a Goldilocks jump. You want to get it just right.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Where is he? Okay, there. I can go. Good, good, good. Oh, I knew it. I saw it coming. So the good news is we push the button. The bad news is I go back before the elevator and I will have to do this whole section again, but that's okay. It's not a big time loss, maybe 30 seconds, something like this. So I need to... So if I stay too close to the door, they will not come out. So... Come.
Clearly, this was just because you wanted to show off
Okay.
the warp with the doctor
Hello.
again, because it's really cool.
Please? Maybe you? The other one decided didn't want to... Yeah, doing some serious moonwalking here. Let's just hope it does not, like, crash my game. Oh, it crashed the sound, but that's fine. It happens a lot. So whenever something weird happens and the game does not know what to do, it stops the sound. So if you don't have music right now, that's normal because the AI of the doctor was not doing exactly what it was supposed to do. All right. We are going back up. So this time I will not go directly to the left during the lifeline. I will go a bit up and then back to the left because I want to go to the next sections. And yeah. If you want to read some donation lucky, it's going to be pretty short, so it's pretty straightforward from here. If you have it.
Thank you. You know what I find super interesting about this game is that it's so cozy to watch, but I know that it's stressful for you to play, but it's just cozy and fascinating to watch. If you're just joining us, you're watching Prevent-A-Thon 5. We are a speedrunning marathon in support of Little Warriors, a Canadian-based charity focused on the awareness, prevention, and treatment of child sexual abuse. Right now, we are working our way towards 2 incentives, but never fear, it's a 2-for-1 special. So one donation gets your ticket into both of these incentives. One of them is for upcoming run World of Goo with Satan herself. If this incentive is met, we're going to get 3 new levels.
Okay, we are getting at the end of almost at the end of Medbay. I have just one final lifeline to get, which is a timed one, which is pretty easy when you get there the first time. But if you mess up, then the timing changes and you are going to have to improvise a bit, which I don't like. I'm saving here even if the next section is very short because there's so many enemies. And they do 2 damage. Some of them, the big one that shoot lasers at you, are doing 2 damage, so I don't want to die. It went well, so yeah, we are happy with this, but Next boss, I'm gonna say it straight up. If I one-shot this, I will give $20 to the Prevent-A-Thon. So it's that horrible. If you can take it away.
Yeah, it's your favorite boss, the mad
Can't
scientist.
decide if I'm rooting for you to one-shot it or not.
Yeah, this is the mad scientist. The reason why you mentioned one-shotting it and giving money is because this boss can get stun locked, or it can just do whatever it wants, and you've already seen that with it, like overlapping attacks and doing stuff like that. Where, yeah, this boss is very, very exploitable if he cooperates. But you know, whenever he shoots off those counterattack lasers, you got to get out of the way as well because they come out very fast. And then if he decides to start doing other attacks instead of, you know, standing there letting
And that's
you hit
$20. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, had to pop up for some
No,
seconds.
you're fine. You're doing these bosses too fast. I can't even finish talking about them.
That's good luck for us. Let's hope the last boss is not horrible.
Yeah, you didn't even have to really do the part where there's an attack that makes you leave the arena to dodge it, so you got to go into the lifeline and then go back in.
Yeah, that was good. That was a very good pattern. He was pretty friendly. He did some weird things, like always. It's a mad scientist. Yeah, he does a bit of weird thing. That's in the name. But yeah, the idea is it can be very dangerous because those spheres that he shots do 2 damage and they come out right on top of its hitbox. So whenever I go for a hit, if he decides they want to attack, I can just take 2 damage for no reason, just because I was there at the wrong moment. And that's one of the thing with this game, is that the idle time of bosses is pretty short because they have those defense mechanisms, so you really need to know what they're doing and anticipate and attack. But that's good. We are reaching the final open section of the game, which is Forge. We will have the very, very final section, which is Command Ship, which is a bit different. But now we have Wall Jump, so we can just Wall Jump, and Wall Jump also reset our dash, so we can do some crazy things around. Let me see if I can get the fall down straight. Yeah! Woohoo! And one of the cool things in Forge is the mini-boss. So this arena has 2 mini-boss, which are just part of the final boss, but you can, whenever you reach those arenas, you can jump over the trigger, and that's intended by the devs, because if you skip the 2 mini-boss and reach the final boss of Forge, the final boss of Forge is much harder, because the 2 mini-boss join him in the arena. So it's a cool gimmick. Oh, that's a lot of guys. Yep, that's bad. Sorry. Had a little bit of panic. Normally there's like at least 1 on the other side, but there was like 3 of them on this side, which is bad. But we good. So yeah, you have this cool gimmick that you can just decide to either make your final boss harder and get an achievement for it, by the way, or you can just defeat them early on so that they don't hinder you for the final boss. And yeah, it's a pretty cool mechanic. So we are going to be jumping above some of those boss sections in the future, and we have, of course, a little bit of surprise for the boss at the end, because all bosses are nightmares in this game. Alright, I'm going to heal right there. So Forge is a very cool area. It's all based on like mechanical things, so you have conveyor belts, you have pistons, and those weird things. I'm not getting the jump. Okay, that's good. I'm not getting this one, please. Yeah, okay, good. I'm just going to wait for this guy. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's 2 of them. Luckily, those enemies just despawn whenever they shoot at you, so if I'm good enough, I will just dodge them. I'm taking a little bit of a safe route. I was saying I was going to do some safe route, but they decided to be a bit more problematic.
Wasn't safe enough.
Yeah, it's this room, just this specific room is dangerous, so that's why I healed before, but fortunately it didn't went well. Oh, taking a damage here. I'm going to die. No, that's fine. Thank you. Saving myself here. Okay, so we have a bit of backtracking to do, so if you want to go ahead, explain anything that you, or if you have any question about the game, just go ahead. I kind of love to talk about.
I don't think we've actually mentioned how the health works, because you have those 4 health pips, but the health is actually split into 3 segments in each of those pips. And so while most enemies and most obstacles will do damage either 1 full circle or 2 full circles, whenever you pick up any health, it only restores 1/3 of your health.
Yeah, that's the...
But thankfully, if you do have literally like 1/3 of one of your health bars, it's still enough to stay alive.
So yeah, it's the idea behind this is enemies don't drop a lot of health. They literally drop 1/3 of what you need. So you want to... Oh, I'm going to miss the top one. I'm gonna have to redo that. Because I went for the top one instead of going for the left one. Okay. Oh, there.
Yeah, but it's sort of like Legend of Zelda with its like hearts and how you can have like take a 1/4 heart of damage or half a heart or something like that, where it's just you have those full health segments, but they get sectioned off as well.
Yeah, it would be very cool if some enemies or some obstacles do like 1/3 of damage, but everything do one full circle of damage. So it's more like it's just to make sure that you don't fight for no reason. Fighting in this game is very risky, and there's a lot of enemy that just ignores you. So you are not here to be fighting anything apart from the bosses. So that's one of the cool things I love about this game. Is just telling you those enemies they're just obstacles. Just don't go for them if you don't have to go. That was a bit early.
Yeah, it's much more of a platforming focused Metroidvania as opposed to combat focused like a lot of others.
I'm missing jump inputs, that's bad. Alright, let's do this. I'm gonna have to redo this, yeah, that's bad. Yeah.
This is why we have checkpoints.
Exactly. I'm taking so much time here. I don't want to die because the next sections are really easy and I'm going to die because I said that. No, I'm going to assume it's not going to happen. Let's be positive about this. Okay, let's go up.
This is why we have a marathon estimate and it's not just your PB.
Yes, it's whatever can happen during this. Okay, and we are going to dark room section. So dark rooms, basically you're supposed to grab the light upgrade before you go to them, but we don't have time for this. Oh, I was too far. I saw it. I was missing some information in the room, so I messed up. This is not going very well. The bosses are going well, the platforming section are not going well. This is the exact opposite of what's supposed to happen. Normally I've...
remember you telling me, like it... Oh yeah, the platforming is the easy part, the bosses are the part I'm worried about.
Maybe I should have practiced more my platforming. That's what's going to happen in the end.
Yeah, it's all good. People just get to see more of the game.
Yeah. Okay. I have the rhythm here. That was much better. So whenever you get into the cycles, it's much easier to do. And for those of you who are wondering, the game is actually on pretty much every platform now. It's on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and I'm pretty sure it comes to Switch pretty soon. So yeah, it's if you want to get your...
It came out on Xbox literally like 2 days ago, so I picked it up.
It's a cool one. I really like it. Okay, let's do this again. Long jump. Here's the... yeah. So luckily for us, there's a sign that tells us where we can land. I just didn't saw it in the first try. So we're reaching the final boss, which is extremely dangerous as doing boss so and jumping around. But the dev forgot that we can jump about the hitbox of the boss, so we are just skipping him. Yeah, that's the hardest boss in the game.
Boss fight.
Soft boss fight. I'm not. Since I one shot this, I will give 20 bucks. No, I'm not doing this for this one. It would be too much of a damage.
I mean, you could just give more to charity.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anybody would be complaining about that.
I agree with this. I completely agree with this. So now we have our final upgrade, which is the anti-grav. We can switch gravity once between walls and jumps. So we are just going to grab a little bit of extra stuff. We are going to grab our extra HP so that the final boss is a bit easier. Yeah. Okay. And yeah. Okay. I'm just being careful because I often take damage for no reason in those sections, and even if it's not a big loss, a big time loss, it's a bit tiring when you're like, oh, I have to get back here. So yeah, we are going to... So we saved 5 of those little bots, which are exactly the same thing as the scrubs in All Night. Whenever you save a lot of them, they give you a boost. And with that, we are getting our third upgrade for health, and we're getting our extra HP. I should save, thank you. Oh, that was cool. So I just saved, and while I was saving, I just switched gravity. And that literally made me go to the ceiling while I was saving. And I messed up this one. That's okay. I don't have my jump. That's bad. Yeah, I'm gonna grab the doctor. So that's... I really wanted to avoid fighting this doctor. But doctors are doctor through and through. Whenever you hit them, they will give you all your HP back. So they will give you exactly the amount of health you're missing. Which is... I mean, it's a very big amount of dedication to your job, so... Okay. And I really need those because I'm going to need to open those gates. And those gates open only when you spend a certain amount of HP on them. And I need them because we are in the command zone. And command zone needs 3 keys, exactly like the greenhouse. But now the keys are behind very much more challenging challenge. Yeah, that's French. That's English. You know what to speak it. Oh, missed it. That's fine. I'm grabbing else back here because this jump is a bit dangerous. Okay, I was good. It's a very tight combo of double jumping, switching gravity, and dashing. And if you mess up, you're just too short and you can't go all the way through. I'm too far. Yeah, I'm too far. I was not taking the same route, and now there are bees on the way, which is bad. Okay, should be good. Anyway, we are going to save here anyway because we are approaching one of the fight gauntlets. So we have to fight 4 of those enemies that we saw in Forge, and there's a very cool strat for this. We're going to do here, do those 2 ones, dash, do those 2 ones. Perfect. That's perfect timing. It's very rare that it goes that smooth. Sometimes I can miss one because they push themselves together, and then I cannot hit them correctly. So we really appreciate when they just stay lined up and I can just fight them correctly. But we are slowly going towards the final part of the command chip, which is going to be our last key, of course. And we still have a couple platforming sections here, which are fine.
I just want to comment that whenever you have the gravity reversed and you're sliding on a wall, it just looks really funny to me.
That's one of those cool things you can do. And you can swap gravity when you're sliding, so you can switch back the sliding to another direction. So that's one of those cool tricks you can do when you know to go fast with this game. And I did not explain the choice direction. So in many parts of the game, you can actually decide how you want to go to the next section. That's bad. Okay. Sorry. So there's several options for you, and you can pick the one that you like. And they're mostly ranging on difficulty, and the longer one are easier, but the shorter one are much harder. And here we have a laser carousel. So we always take the easy route because since we are speedrunners, we can do them pretty fast. And we are just going to roll around with the laser here. I'm gonna try getting some damage in at the end, but I don't want to take too much damage because I don't want to die before I get the key, so I should be good. Last one. Perfect. Okay. And now we got the 3 keys, and again, we're gonna use the Omnisave to go back to the checkpoint and head towards the final boss. Alright.
And since this game does have a death counter, we can keep track of exactly how many times you did it, and we can't tell which ones were intentional, so we'll just say they all were intentional.
Yeah. At the beginning, it was really one of those challenges where I really wanted to do it with the least amount of death, but in the end, it's not that much of a time loss to use those relocates to use the checkpoints. Just death warp around. It's very good. It saves you a ton of times in many occasions. So yeah, we are going to use that a lot. And so we are opening the 3 gates, we are moving back up. And what's happening at the top is we are going to open the door that we saw during the tutorial, but we could not go through. I did not want to do that. I'm grabbing some lore. So yeah, we now going back to the beginning, and this is basically the tutorial again. But we have all our power back again, so bit of deja vu here. I don't need this. But yeah, we are going to move towards the final boss. And the final boss of this game, to me, is the only trouble I have with this game. The game is amazing, I really love to play it. It has a very high 100% ceiling if you want to complete everything. There's no very challenging part. You can pretty much do everything straight up. But the final boss has very small times where you can hit him. And it's a huge gap into the difficulty curve, and it's literally out of curve. It's not meant to be this hard. So let's go.
All right, so yeah, this boss, it has 2.5 phases, kind of. Where this phase 1, just kind of stay on the ceiling, switch gravity every once in a while, bop it on the head, and then hop back up to the ceiling, and yeah, you just do this 10 times. Phase 1 is kind of a pushover. When you heard that this boss was very, very difficult, this was not the part of the boss that is talking about, because this phase is kind of the phase that kind of wants you to learn about going on the ceiling as a strategy for this boss fight. But yeah, just very much trivializes it. Phase 2 is where things really start going off the rails, because the boss has a bunch of attacks, all of them do 2 damage, and very many of them are very dangerous and very tricky to navigate around while still trying to do damage to the boss, because you gotta sneak in hits on the head in the middle of the screen there. So there's only 2 attacks that are really safe to go for hits during. One of them is when it shoots giant orbs and it just they hit the ceiling because you're on the ceiling and you can just kind of sneak in a hit. Or the other one is when it dives down at you twice in a row. So those double dives are also very easy to counter, and so those are the 2 attacks that Sekeri is going to be sneaking in hits during the most, unless for some reason you want to play it risky, which I don't think you would want to.
Not a marathon.
Yeah, but once the boss reaches 5 health, that's when the 2.5 phases come in, where it's basically this phase again, but everything gets faster and all of the attacks get more stuff out of them. So those giant orbs, there's more of them. The double dive becomes a triple dive. That laser that goes around in circles just has 2 lasers now, and so this fight is just a very, very difficult dance of dodging the attacks and sneaking in hits where you're able to. But yeah, now things are going to start getting faster, where those small orbs just start coming out faster. Like I said, all of the other attacks have just more projectiles and everything to them. The triple dive is
Too late.
Still one of the better ways to hit it after it. But yeah, the boss also still does contact damage. The contact damage is only 1 damage. That's the only thing in the fight that doesn't do 2 damage. And so, yeah, this fight is very tricky.
Come on. Oh, that's not fine.
But
boss not being very friendly.
yeah, thankfully. Yeah, thankfully, if you play it safe, this fight's not nearly as bad as it could be. Because if you are an experienced platformer, then you probably can see all the spots where you could sneak in hits if you wanted to be risky. But yeah, it's literally the last boss in a run, and on top of that, it's a marathon run. There's 0 reason to be risky when you don't need to be, just to save 20 or 30 seconds.
Ah, I missed it.
So
I knew I should have not gone for it. I was greedy. The boss was not very cooperating, so I tried to sneak an attack in there, but I was a bit too far off because the timing was wrong, because I started on the wrong spot of the screen. My bad.
While you go back to the boss, I just want to jump in with some incredible news. we are past $1,500.
Yeah,
Like,
that's nice.
Yeah, can I get a heck
So
yes,
glad it
everyone
happened.
from chat?
So
I'm just sending you some of those vibes.
oh yeah, that's great. That's all I wanted. So glad. I'm sorry it happened during the boss and you could not yell at me and say. So it happens now, but that's definitely good news for us. I will try my best to finish off on this amazing news.
Yes. Yeah, thankfully phase 1 is easy enough that you're able to actually sneak in that information.
Yeah. Well, phase 1 is easy, but that's also one of the wrong thing with this boss is that it's so easy you're angry to have to redo it.
Yeah. It lulls you into a false sense of security because phase 1 is such a pushover. Alright, but we're back to phase 2.
Come on. That's good.
Phase 2 is
That's a
a
very good
doozy.
start. No, I did not do double. Okay, one. Come on, again. No, laser. Okay.
Yeah, the thing about the dives is I mentioned how like the double and the triple dives are the ones that you want to sneak in hits during, but the boss can just choose to not do that many dives in a row.
Yep.
Whether it just does one dive or in when the boss has less than 5 health left and it starts doing the triple dives, it can just do one dive or 2 dives and then just transition it into something else immediately after. So you have to pay close attention where it's like if you see a dive, you can't just assume that it's going to work out for you. You just have to just be on your guard.
Yeah, just if he moves between dives, it means it's reset his counter, so I need to be careful, but that's going to be a double dive, so at some point you start to know when it's going to happen, so it's mostly based on where you are on the screen, but I've still not found a way to make it consistent.
Yeah, you can influence things, but you can't make it deterministic, unfortunately.
That's bad. Okay, no, that's a big attack. The scariest part is the boss stopping in place and not doing anything.
Which is really funny to say out loud. It's like the scariest thing is when it just stands there menacingly.
Too bad. I'm going to die on this. No, not again. 2 HP left. Okay.
You got this.
That's big spheres. That's good for us. Okay, but I'm too far away. Oh no, that's going to be laser final. Come on. Yes! Time! Sorry. Sorry for the producing team. I just... okay. I really wanted to finish on the run where we crossed the 1500s, so yeah, I'm glad I took a little bit more risk and it paid off, so good.
Yeah, I saw you going for a lot more of those hits during the double lasers than the first time around.
The thing is with double lasers, if it's sort of in the middle of the screen, I can go out and wait for the last moment to drop out of the ceiling and go back inside, and it gives me a nice timing to hit it. But if it's too much to the side, I cannot do this if it's not turning the laser the right way. So yeah, we're good here.
GG, you finished well under estimate.
Yeah, I was hoping this.
Thank you.
What's the time? I don't have the time on screen.
On stream, it is a 44:30.
Oh, that's under 45. That's exactly what I wanted. I just wanted to be sub 45 because it's mostly what I really wanted to aim for. For those wandering around, my PB is sub 40. It's around 39s, 50 something. But yeah, I'm glad it went weirdly wrong in some parts and it went really weirdly right in some other parts. So this is very good.
Yeah, thankfully, none of the bosses gave you too much trouble.
Yeah, except the last one, but that's intended.
I mean, even then, you only died on it once.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was a bit finicky because he didn't want to do a lot of those dive attacks, so that's why I decided to go for the laser ones. So it worked. I'm happy.
I think chat just like sent you all of their incredibly amazing vibes, and yep, thanks to all that love. I think they had a huge part in you being able to finish sub 45.
Yeah.
So Sekeri, why don't you tell the lovely people where they can find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitch, Sekeri_rat. I most of the time stream in French, but I welcome any English speakers in my chat, and I speak English whenever someone asks me a question in English, so feel free to come around. I spend a lot of my time diving deep into Steam, looking for niche games, and Lucky Care Plucky know that I found a game that I really want to post for the next marathon for the chicken block, so I hope you'll see me again. But if not, yeah, you can find me on Sekeri_Larry.
Thank you so much. That was incredible. Great time. So we are going to head to a quick break, grab some water, hug your kitty, and we will be back in no time with our next game, The Gunk.